Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new video, and welcome back to our holiday special. We are on day 11, and we are going to start right where we left off from our skyline build. We are going to be making a humongous build on this episode. We are going to be making a train station. Now, this is going to be the biggest train station I have ever made. I've only ever made some that are like, I don't know, maybe like 20 tiles. This is going to be like over like 3/4 of the map, and I can't wait to do this because I have a really cool like railroad like station idea in mind. And yeah, so right now we are terraforming everything. We want to make sure we get everything out of the way and make sure we build a big enough platform for this railroad station, because it is going to be ginormous. So we need to finish up this platform today, and then also in between we are going to be making a ginormous lake to not only help fill in the area, but to add to the overlook, because I feel like it's going to make a really nice addition. And over here, I'm on the right side now. All I have to do is fill in the rest of this, and the terraforming portion on this side will be done. And then unfortunately we can get started on the water terraforming. This terraforming alone with the water and this, again, took me like at least another 2 hours. The amount of water right here is insane. My map kind of looks ridiculous, but it's okay. It was worth it. But yeah, luckily for you, with the power of editing, I went ahead and skipped all of that for you guys, and I went to the very end. After this, I stood up for a while and stretched because this took me a hot minute. And now over on this side, just to help kind of cage it off so it doesn't look like you can just see the beach, try to hide it the best I could. I added some hedges over here and then added some trees just to give it some height and kind of keep your eyes away from the ocean and the beach, because we're trying to keep this in a city type of vibe, so we want to make sure we stick with that. And now that I'm done with that, I did the same thing kind of downward just to fill in this area some more, just because I do not want, like I said, just the beach visible. So I want to block off as much as I can. And honestly, if you guys do tour this island, you probably won't be able to get to the beach anyways, so it's not really going to matter. But I'm OCD and I want everything to be perfect as possible, so I made sure that I hedged all the way down too, and I really liked it. And now over here too, I feel like this may be the only spot for our house, so I am going to leave it vacant. And hopefully I do put the house there, because if not, I have no idea where else I'm going to put it at. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I have some cool ideas in mind for it anyways, so I'll make sure to put it there, hopefully. And over here you see I made some little like terraforming that goes out into the neighborhoods, so the railroad station will be accessible through both neighborhoods, so it makes sense. It's a community kind of train deal. I think this is a really cool idea. I'm really glad that matched up like it did, because if not, my whole plan would have been ruined. But fortunately it did, because I was really worried. This is like the big idea that I thought about for the longest time, that I wrote down in my notes. And yeah, over here, this is like a weird little blank area, so I just added some greenery around, just so you really don't really see anything anyways. But again, I'm a perfectionist. I want to make sure everything that can be filled, I can fill it up as much as I can. And now that we're done with that, went ahead and time traveled to the next day, and to clear up all the things that have spawned on here, just because I don't want things just showing over here, because I'm going to be placing on a lot of pathing. And I don't know if you saw that, I was kicking the snowball off of the cliff. That is probably one of my favorite things about the winter, is the snowballs. They may be annoying, but it's really funny when the bug's on them and you kick them away. I don't know, this sounds a little aggressive, but still, it's hilarious to me. And you can kind of see already what I'm going for here. Typically when I make train stations, it's only one train, but this one it has multiple rails on it. There'll be multiple trains on this train station because it's going to be huge, and if I didn't, it would look a little bit weird, so I wanted to make sure I did that. And I'm placing down this like sidewalk pathing all the way down, just to kind of act like you just got off the railroad, the train station rather, and you know, you're going somewhere else. So I wanted to make sure I did that. And this iron grate is perfect. Not only does it fit very well, but it makes it look like industrial, and that is what I want. I want to make sure this looks realistic as I possibly could make it, and I really think it worked out really well. And as you see here, I got most of it done. I did add these like green like grates here to act as like a crosswalk. I think this was a really nice touch, and I don't know, add to that realism like I said I was going for. And right here, I left this in because I found this hilarious. I find it hilarious right now, but in the time, I had to have a break because your boy was heated. I placed the railroad track the wrong way the whole way down, and I did fix it, but it was so frustrating because I didn't notice it at first. And now that I have all the railroad done, you may remember this design. This design is from our 4-in-1 challenge. Still not done yet. Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing that, don't forget to check out my 4-in-1 challenge. That challenge all in itself is super fun, and I have a feeling a lot of you guys would enjoy it. But this amazing machine, it's amazing, and it's also a machine. This is acting as the train. It looks so realistic. I got this idea off of Pinterest, but my take on it is I'm not using any simple panels. I feel like this looks good enough without simple panels. And over here, so this was hard for me. I didn't really like the cave just because I was like, it doesn't really look, I don't know, that realistic. But I feel like it looked good enough to put on the railroad. I don't typically like these, but I feel like it was good enough. And I feel like the train station needed something rather than, you know, instant death right off of the track. So I needed something to act like a little mountainside or like a tunnel that the train is actually going into. So I wanted to replicate that best of my ability. So I kind of hit it with some trees just to make it look a little bit better. I also put a train in front of that, acting like it was going inside of the tunnel. I feel like that was a nice little touch. I don't know, it looked really cool. And I'm using the steel fence too, just to help with like kind of the area by the water on that little end. And here I am again, placing down another machine looking like a train that's coming out of the cave. I feel like that looks so cool. This is something I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the space for it. And what better place than my Christmas themed island. And you can see Santa's sleigh right off in the distance. How good that actually looks in the water, shimmering in the background with the fish. I feel like it looks and adds so much to this build. I'm in love with it. It looks so cool. But yeah, the steel fence will go all the way down to the very end. And then on the other side, I haven't really decided what I wanted to place there yet, just because I didn't want to do the same thing over and over again. I wanted to add something a little bit different. So hopefully I can come up with something that looks okay. But yeah, now I am extending out this train just a little bit because I didn't know how far I wanted it to go. And as you see here, I did end up deciding to use my trademark fence. I feel like this looks amazing. It's still the same color kind of theme, so it was really fitting. And I feel like it gave it some height that it really needed. And I think it looks like a train station, so I think it was a perfect fit for this area. And the amount of times I had to time travel for these fences was insane. But luckily for you guys, like I said before, with the power of editing, you didn't have to see any of that. But yeah, I got all of those. And now the next task I had to do was I had to put stuff in between the trains to not only fill in the area to make it look a lot less empty, but to make it look a little bit more realistic, just because I can't build like something over it. So I needed something to help in between to make it look like a real train station. So I had an idea in mind, so I grabbed a lot of utility poles to add in between to make it look like a subway station. I feel like this was a nice little touch, and I put them kind of like 5 or 6 in between each row, just so it's like giving it height and giving it more things to look at, because that was a big thing that I needed, because I didn't have that many things to look at. It was just a whole lot of path, and I wanted to make sure I kind of, nailed that part. And over here I put some of these tourist telescopes so you can have a look out through like the night or the day at the skyline. I feel like that was such a cool idea. Just like you're waiting for the train, you could buy a drink, sit down, whatever it may be. And I added bikes, and I know that seems a little bit weird, but I've seen people pack bikes on the trains, and plus I needed something else to fill in the area, so I wanted to make sure I add that. And I wanted to add a fortune cookie cart. These are so cute, and it may not fit that well, but I like it, and I guess that's really all that matters. I thought it looked really cute, so I wanted to make sure I added that. And I scooted it over just a little bit because I did need to add some benches. I don't know why. I waited a long time to do that, but yeah. I used a lot of these plastic benches to keep going with the theme to make it look like a normal city where you rest at to wait for the train station. I added some street lamps and also some trash cans and an ABD just in case you didn't have any change, and you can get some dollar bills or coins to use the vending machine, so I wanted to make sure I added that. And the street lamps are really important at nighttime, especially if I do go like here during the night, so you can see everything a little bit more and the build looks better. And over on this side, I did just the same thing. I added basically the same items just to fill it in some more. I didn't want to add anything too crazy just because it didn't really need that. And plus I'm going for a more realistic look, so I wanted to make sure I kept true to my theme. So I added the same items along here too. I didn't want to add too many items right here, just because if you do visit my island, I want you to be able to see the skyline, pretty easily. So I wanted to make sure I did that. And right here, I love doing these little things, a little like construction site. I put like a train, like little blocker and like cement to act like they were fixing like one of the rails. I don't know. I feel like that was a nice little touch and to help fill in that area a little bit more. And over here on the bottom right side now, same thing, adding a lot of items to help fill it in some more. And now it's time to actually get my staircases to go up. So my inclines, I needed 2 in total, and I went with the blue. Not only did I feel like it goes with the winter theme, but it's really industrial looking, and I never ever get to use the metal inclines. And I feel like these are very underrated, and they just look really good. I mean, they look really good with the snow on top too. Went ahead and time traveled the next day, spoke to my man Tom Nook once more. Again, bought the same incline and went ahead and placed it down. Again, super happy with these, and you can see it right here. I think it looks super good, and I was really happy with it. And right here, I did add these park clocks. Now, I turned them backwards. They're acting like kind of crossings, like, I don't know, like a train crossing. I don't know what it's called, but I wanted to make sure I added that just because it gave it some more height and something else to look at. And then I also added another fence in between to act like it was a spot where you can actually walk at and it was safe to cross. And I did have to go to Harv's Island because I needed to paint all of my amazing machines because I wanted this train to basically reach the crosswalk, because I wanted it to look like it was really full. Like there was a lot of trains passing by, going in and out, picking up people. So I wanted to do my very best to get that theme because this one is actually going inside of a tunnel. So if you miss your stop, you're out of luck, you gotta wait. So I wanted to make sure I added that. And plus it makes it look like that crosswalk is actually used rather than just me placing down path. I wanted it to look as realistic as I possibly could make it, and I feel like I really hit the note on that, and I love it. I mean, I was super happy with how this turned out, and yeah, now that we're done, let's go ahead and do our final walkthrough. And that wraps up today's video. This has been one of the funnest and biggest builds I've ever done ever. So I really hope you guys did enjoy today's video. And the backdrop, I mean, it looks amazing. This is exactly what I was going for. I was really worried that it wasn't going to look as good, but in my opinion, it turned out great, and it's everything I ever wanted. But yeah, this is day 11. Tomorrow is day 12, so you guys don't miss out on our 12-day special. And yeah, thank you guys for everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time.